Hello again and welcome to Whimsical Farm. We'll start off on the entryway. You can see that the large rock that was out in the open last time has now been buried, ready for lawnmower testing. And got a little bit of sand down. Getting ready to do some work on both these beds. They'll both have probably some flowers in them next time. Welcome to the Garden of Weedon, as you see. And we come in, first thing you'll notice this time is our grape beds have now got the water lines run to them, and they are getting a nice drink of water. Roses are starting to bloom. I'll try to zoom in today so you can see some more details. And we got some beautiful roses. These are cheat a little bit. These are knockout roses. They work great in Arkansas because you don't have to have perfect weather, and they don't seem to care much about fungus and the heat as bad as a regular rose would. Let's take a look at the onions, and you can see the temperature here. We're getting on up there. We're almost 80 degrees today. And here's our onion bed. Something about these wood chips, we really are blessed by these because the utility company hired a bunch of folks to come out and cut trees down that were close to utility lines, and then they took their grinder and ground all those limbs up, and we offered a place for them to land them, which was on our property. So those wood chips are very handy. We got truckloads of those. You'll see our grapes now are really starting to put on some leaves, and they're got that shiny look to them. You can see the shine on them. They're brand new growth on the grapes. I'll show you some more about them. Let's go ahead and start where we did last time with the 6 beds. You see the 6 beds, they're still kind of in the solarizing mode, getting ready to be planted. That center bed is onions. You can see my wife has done a good job of getting them thinned out a little bit. And that last bed there that has no cover on it, it has been solarized. She put the black plastic to it and cooked it down good, got rid of some weeds, and now it's planted out with some corn. And what's the other thing you put in it, baby? And some sunflowers. She's got a divider on that. And that's going to be a really nice bed. These, not exactly sure what she's going to put in them yet. Let's look at some more roses. This day we're going to talk about some beautiful things in the garden along with the work involved. And you can see these. I don't remember. Let's see. This is kind of a coral color. There are some that are coming in. That's a beautiful colored rose, the coral. It's a really nice looking rose. Lots of fresh growth on it. And take another look here at this grapevine. Look at this grapevine coming down. The cattle panels, we're really particular about them. We really like them a lot, and you can see cattle panel used to make a hoop, and look at that grape go. It'll cover that thing up in no time. While we're right here and I got these tools laid out, I want to mention, if you're starting off in gardening, or even if you've been at it for a while, a tool to use that we found really useful in the garden is these Fisker tools. There's a couple of things about them that really stand out to me. One is the large D handle on some of them, the bigger shovels, and steel handles that don't require special care. They're extra girded and welded on the back for your feet, so when you stomp them, you don't get that sharp edge hitting your foot. You got a flat platform to hit on. And also, like I say, just solid steel handles, good smooth plastic handle to put your hand on. But I'm bad about leaving tools out in the garden and we forget about them and it rains on them, and so wooden handles just don't work for us at all. You can see the bird bath there. He's being used to give a drink to some plants right now. This is a brand new bed that my wife has got started. These are all her baby pepper plants. You'll remember those were on the front porch last time. And she's been reading up that these are really good to snap the head of them off when they're young, and that makes them really bush out. And then plant them close together, because the pepper plants do very well when they're close together. they benefit a lot from that. So now let's take a look at what happened over here. On our first video, which is just introduction type, we didn't have any tomato plants out here at all, but now you can see we got tomato plants. Got a little piece of tape in the way there. And each one of them has his own little name label up here. This is aroma. Just a little beads, those are weatherproof beads. So there's aroma, and you see the water. I got a water dripping system there that's dripping down on him. Try to keep it close profile to his base so he doesn't waste any of it. Hitting a little piece of slate there. That's kind of an experiment to see if it'll spread the water out a little bit. And we've got here a dozen different kinds of plants. That was, let's see what another one is here so you could read it. There's a celebrity. And then we've got the, this is a cherry tomato. Super Sweet 100. And I won't do each one of the labels. You get the idea. Here's another little experiment I'm conducting right now. We've got a brick there, letting the drip hit that brick and try to spread the water out a little bit. One thing that you don't want to do on tomato plants, especially in Arkansas, is once they get up and running, you don't want any water touching that plant. I know the Lord puts water on it from up above, but it just has a different effect on it because it gets cloudy and all that. The sun's not shining, it just works out better. But if you keep the plant wet all over, it's going to have problems with fungus. So we try to water them right at the base. After these plants get up to height, you see this bottom rung of wire right here. I'll cut off every limb that's below that wire so that we can have good airflow. Now, last time I mentioned these mineral tubs that you see in front of you. I learned this from YouTube, and we'll get into details about that later. You're welcome to look that up on their mineral tubs. But there's an older man, I think he's from Oklahoma or Texas, and he taught us how to do this. You can either take milk jugs or some 6-inch drain pipe, put in the bottom of these, and drill you a drain hole on the side about 5 inches up. And then you put some wicking material, usually landscape fabric works good, and let them fill up with water. So you've only got soil in the top 2/3, and the bottom 1/3 acts as a reservoir. And it's a really good system. Now, this soil that we put in these is a 3-part product. We get a super soil that we buy here locally, and then we mix 1/3 super soil with 1/3 peat moss, and then the last third is usually from Walmart, Stay Green product, which is a chipped wood. So between the 3 of those, you get a good combination. And then a final thing that I add, go a little over 100% here, but I put some wood chips, some cedar chips. You can get them from Walmart also. And that just gives you good, fluffy, loose soil for containers. And it works really good. I tried that in some clear solo cups to do some testing and see how they drained and how bean seeds grew in them. You'll notice up top here, we've got some really nice plants. These are all baby tomato plants, and I'm just using this upper rack right now as a place to store them, but these are going to be sold soon. Some will be replacements in case we have an issue with any of our plants. And you can see these got a real pretty color to them. They're growing good, no fungus, no yellow spots. Got all different kinds. We got some carbon, we got some Cherokee purple, some lemon boys, some beefsteak, some delicious tomatoes. I'm looking forward to getting some of those this year. And our clover, again, still doing real good. Remember last time we showed that off a little bit. That's for the bees, clover and wildflowers. They really enjoy that. My wife's fish tank's doing good. She's got some new plants she put in there. And the little plastic top just kind of shows you where it's tied into. And then these small pods here, these are actually growing. She's got a fish in here. See if I can get him to come up here. Come here, buddy. Come over. We got a little bit of algae in the tank right now, but the water's good and clear. You're looking at the bottom of the tank. Let's see if we can get him to come up here. He's a big old goggle-eyed, big-eyed fish. Hi there, buddy. Hi, buddy. Come here. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. There he is. He's saying hi to you. There he is. He's getting rid of any bugs, mosquitoes, and stuff like that. Now we come to another. Oh, I got to show you this grape. Something about these grapes, they really get me. They just, there's a splitting off. Look how many blooms, not blooms, look how many little arms, I guess you'd call it, tendrils that are sticking off on that thing. Unbelievable. And then they're ready, they're going up to the structure. And like I say, this will all be grapes hanging down pretty soon. I'm gonna back off here a little bit. It's another bed that my wife has put in of peppers. You can see those getting in thick again. Another beautiful, try to stay out of the picture here, beautiful yellow rose. That's a real nice one. And then here is one that's thick. This has been here for a couple of years, maybe 3. And it's one of the knockouts. It just will get so thick, it'll get probably 4 feet tall this year and probably about 2.5, 3 feet wide. It'll just be covered with roses. We've kind of finished up this except for putting some gravel in or some more stonework, but it's a little seating and working area. We try to do a little bit of work and a little bit of relaxation. I think that's important in the garden, is to have a good balance between those two. There should be a point that you can sit down and enjoy what the Lord's blessed you with. My wife has purchased these. My whole life I tried to get rid of honeysuckle, and here she went and bought honeysuckle and planted it, but this isn't what I was fighting with as a kid. Look at this stuff. That is a beautiful pink honeysuckle, and this morning we got to sit out here as the sun was just coming up, and I heard this sound like a little engine flying around my ear. And it had a real high pitch, sounded like it was running about 10,000 RPM. And about that time, she was looking up and smiling and talking to somebody, and it was a little hummingbird. And he was just coming to test out the new honeysuckles. These are some kind of special pink honeysuckles my wife bought. She knows all the details on that. And let's go around a little bit farther around. I'm looking forward to the time that all these tomatoes start to vine and start to go up. We'll train them real seriously, try to get them to a single stem and then go up through all that structure. That'll be fantastic. Now, honey, what is this white flower? I cannot remember the name of this. Clematis? Okay, this is a beautiful flower that she's put up. Now, I want to back up. I want you to see this with some detail. I don't want to turn the phone because it messes things up. So I just want you to have an idea of the size of this thing, the height of it. There's the top of it. It's probably 8 feet. I guess it's about 8 feet tall. And now I'm going to walk in. This camera will not zoom. I'm not a professional photographer. Never claimed to be, never will be. But I'm going to zoom in just with my body. And look at the beauty of that flower, of that clematis. Isn't that something? The Lord can take black cow manure and grow something that looks like that, and they even smell good too. I'm telling you, the garden is just absolutely full of miracles. And she comes up with the prettiest stuff too. And now here's another plant. And again, this is a weed that some people will try to get rid of, but this is, I want to say it's named after a mule, but that's a creeping Jenny. And I'm going to back up again so you can see how much. See how that stuff, I mean, it will just spread out. And in the house, if you don't have a lot of bright sun on it, it'll just be a kind of a pale green. But when you put it out in the garden, it gets just lemony yellow. And sometimes when we got pups for sale, our black German Shepherds, we'll bring them little pups out here and they're little black marble eyeballs and drop them in there and they'll just pose and be about as cute as a little puppy can be. Here's another picture of grapes. Look at this grapevine. That thing, look at it. It looks like a little oak tree and it branches off. Look at it go. And it's just running and running down the field. I'm gonna back up a little bit here so you can see some details on it. And it goes and goes. I'm walking sideways and then it goes all the way to the end. Look at that. That thing's gonna make so many muscadines. Again, we mentioned this before, muscadines and scumpernongs, that's the two grapevines that you want to have in Arkansas because they can handle the heat and the humidity. So we step down the steps here and you'll see another part of the garden that's in progress. My wife's doing a fantastic job. We don't show you perfect pictures. Elon Musk had made the comment yesterday that he kind of felt sorry for people that lived on Facebook all the time because a lot of people only post perfect pictures. And after a while, you start feeling like you just are a loser. And we don't do that. We show you stuff in its raw condition. You can see weeds, you can see black plastic. She's out here burning the ground up, killing some fungus and some weeds, but that'll be pretty soon. And look at her tomato plants. She's putting me to shame. Hers are bigger, a lot bigger plants, and she's got more confidence than I do. She's putting 2 plants per bucket. And like I say, these are mineral tubs. Here's one that's not finished, and there's some details for you right there. It has the 6-inch drainage pipe, or you can use 1-gallon milk jugs or 3-liter bottles, something to give you airspace below, and then that fills up with water. But she really outdid herself on these. She's got 2 big tomato plants in each one, and you might look at them and say, well, those are not level. Well, that's on the list of things to do, and it'll get done. Here's another bed that's getting solarized, and she's got a whole nother bed all along that side right there. We'll have boards and beds around it. It's going to be strawberries, and it's just more beautiful stuff. I want to show you this up above. Now, honey, tell me the name of these purple flowers. Okay. Now, you see our rabbits. I told you this the last time. These are one of your secret weapons if you're going to be a real gardener. You do not want to be out in your garden, throwing sacks full of triple 13. Will it make stuff grow? Yes, but you'll never get good soil quality. It'll kill your worms. It's made out of synthetic chemicals. People have used it for years, but the more you use it on the ground, it just kills your worms. So you don't want to do that. You want to have rabbit manure. But up above, getting back to what I was talking about, is this Chinese wisteria. Now, I'm going to have to walk back around to get there. Let me show you her strawberries. I'll keep myself busy while I'm in motion. Beautiful strawberry bed there. More roses. More roses. I want you to see how serious this Chinese wisteria is. If you look close here, you'll see a T-post. Look at the wrap that wisteria has put on these wires. Look at that wrap. That long piece of cattle panel that's bowed up over this cage, there's no way that's ever gonna get off the ground. You could have a tornado come through here, and it'd probably take a big tornado, but just a high wind or something like that, these rabbits are safe. And the more that vine grows, pretty soon they'll be locked down. There'll be no way that any of that can move. But they're getting to enjoy the shade. We get to enjoy the flowers. Look how pretty this is a Chinese wisteria. Isn't that just picture perfect? That's just it's a beautiful thing. And again, over there, the clematis, over there by the birdhouse. We don't have a taker on our birdhouse yet. It's still open. We hadn't put up a rent sign. I guess that's what they're waiting on. But it's free for any small birds that want to live there. Got a little air conditioner in the back and everything. So we want to thank you again. I may have forgot a few things. We'll pick them up next time. You'll notice my wife did take the old DR mower, weed eater, and she cut all the grass down real low. It'll be ready to cut again pretty soon. But we want to thank y'all for coming and visit us here at Whimsical Farm on our YouTube videos. And if you saw anything that you like, please hit the like button and subscribe to us so we can continually send you new updates. We plan on doing an update each week so you can see the growth and the progress. Won't be long. We'll be out here picking grapes and sitting down to cut some tomatoes, and we can do some nice taste tests and tell you what they taste like. So if y'all got any tips or any questions, please feel free to go into the comments section too. We would appreciate it. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.